What's going on, 49ers faithful? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to ask a very interesting question, and that is, who do you think will make the biggest leap on the Niners in the upcoming 2026 season? Let's get it. Welcome to the Camman Island Podcast, where we talk all things San Francisco 49ers. I'm your host, David Camman. Now, there are a lot of candidates for who could make the biggest leap from last season to this season going into 2026. I've heard a lot of names out there. Nick Martin, Mykel Williams when he gets back from injury, Upton Stout, Alfred Collins, Dominick Puni, and I've heard a lot of names get thrown out there, and it's hard to argue with any of those. But really, for me, it's none of those names, and the name that comes to mind to me is really obvious. But let's talk about these honorable mentions. Let's talk about a guy like Dominick Puni entering his third season in the Kyle Shanahan scheme. A lot of folks forget that he dealt with a significant injury early on in the season and never really got rolling. He honestly had some struggles early on in the season. Things panned out later in the year. But just another thing, the continuity of that side of the line. Colton McKivitz, Brendel at center. I really think if he's healthy and he has a full offseason program, he can make a significant leap for sure, just with his natural development. I do think Puni improves. I do. But I don't think he'll have the biggest leap. Let's talk about Alfred Collins. Great size, great strength, just raw upside. I get it. He had a few critical splash plays last year. He wasn't bad. I think if Alfred Collins can be a solid contributor, that's a huge win for the team. I just don't see him taking a world-changing leap, especially with us bringing in Osi Odighizuwa and some other guys that's on this line now. I think he's going to have more shared time versus an every down starter. Really what I saw from Upton Stout. And for me, this kid has the talent, the instinct. I know that he's undersized, but the reality is there were a few times last season where this man's coverage was so tight, I felt like he was running the route for the receiver. And a couple of times I was very frustrated because this guy did not get the benefit of the doubt whatsoever. In fact, in a few critical plays last season, he got some very sus, as the kids would say, flags get thrown on him that I felt was very solid coverage. I feel like entering year two, he'll get more benefit of the doubt, and I really feel like this guy can be a star in the league. Again, completely understand that he's a bit small, but it doesn't show when he's out there on the field. Okay? So now past the honorable mentions, who do I feel is the answer? Who do I feel is going to take the biggest leap in 2026? For me, it's obvious. It's not even close. It is Slick Ricky P. That's right, faithful. Ricky Pearsall. And honestly, if you look at this thing, I really don't think it's close. And there's several reasons why. First and foremost, I feel like this year is absolutely critical for his career. He's 25 years old. This second contract that he will be fighting for, playing for essentially this season, will more than likely be his biggest opportunity to get a paycheck. So I know he's heard the noise. He's spoken about it in the offseason. I know that if Ricky is healthy, we have seen flashes of what he can be. Now let's just take last season before the PCL injury, okay? He had 30 catches, 491 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and that was just over a 5-game span. That comes out to 6 receptions per game, nearly 100 yards if you project that out. The full projection Let's just say Ricky can stay healthy over a season. That's 102 receptions, 1,669 yards, 7 touchdowns. Now, look, I understand we brought in a lot of help, especially at the receiver position in the offseason. So I'm going to be realistic. I don't think he's putting up 1,600 yards per se. But the projection is the projection. Another reason I feel like Ricky Pearsall is going to make this leap has nothing to do with Ricky at all. It's one Mike Evans. I think that is the best thing that could happen for Ricky Pearsall. Ricky no longer has to be the guy. He doesn't have to be the alpha. He can now, you're not going to be able to just not give any attention over there whatsoever to Mike Evans. I don't care that Mike Evans is 33 years old. I don't care that he's coming back off an injury. If Mike Evans is healthy with his size and his frame and the speed he still has left in the tank, he's going to torch you if you leave him one-on-one over there, okay? Is he going to command a double team every play? No, I'm just saying you're not going to be able to constantly cheat to one side or the other for the entire game. That's going to give Ricky an opportunity to line up all over the formation. And I think that's where he can be very good. He can now work underneath. He can attack matchups and let Mike Evans command that alpha attention. I really think that Ricky has the tools. He's got the size, the speed. He's got a little wiggle in his step, good route running, solid football IQ. Ricky gets open. He gets open. And in a Kyle Shanahan offense, that is a dangerous combination. And so, yeah, Ricky has a lot to play for this season. He really, truly does. He's got a fifth-year option that the Niners, I'm sure, are thinking about whether or not to even enact on that option. Ricky strikes me as the type of guy, you hear him in the conferences. I like the kid. He had a really rough go at it with getting shot, missing a whole offseason program. Even for him to be able to play in the same season he got shot, man, to show that mental moxie, so to speak, is incredible. I like Ricky a lot. I am absolutely rooting for him. But at the end of the day, the best ability is availability. So this man has to get out there, has to prove he can handle. He has to prove that his body can hold up in the NFL. And so I really feel like he is going to do anything and everything to show that he can stay healthy and contribute. He has a lot to play for. He has everything to play for. So that's my take. Ricky Pearsall, hands down, will take the biggest leap for the 49ers in 2026. Now, as an added bonus, and I put some thought to this naturally, because I think it's important. If Ricky is going to make the biggest leap in 26, who could possibly take a step back? Now, when I mention this name, I'm nervous about how much pushback I'm going to get. But when you look at the data, when you look at stats, it doesn't take a whole lot to consider this player having a step back. One, Eddie Pinero, I think, could possibly take a step back. Now, hear me out before anyone gets mad or gets upset. I'm saying it's almost impossible to repeat the year that he had last year. Check out these numbers from 2025. 28 of 29, 96.6% field goal percentage. He only missed one field goal all season, and it was from 59 yards. And if you remember, it literally almost made it over. It hit the crossbar. He had an absolutely absurd season last year. When you look back at the film and you look back at the momentum of some of these games and how consistent he was, the reality is, faithful, this man won about 3 or 4 games himself, stepping up and making the field goals that he's paid to make. He was a force multiplier last year. The 49ers special teams was ridiculously improved. And it really all began when we let go of Jake Moody and we picked up this man. Now, here's the kind of weird thing. The man was automatic on field goals. Absolutely. But he still missed 4 extra points. So he was 34 of 38 for 89.5 conversion rate. So somehow he's almost perfect at big time kicks in a game, but he has some room for improvement on the extra point side. The extra points definitely do not bother me much, if at all. In fact, we didn't lose a game in which he missed an extra point, if I'm not mistaken. So the reason I'm picking Eddie Money is because if the man just misses like two extra field goals in the regular season for the performance that he put up last year, that would be a step back. Hopefully he can get that extra point conversion rate up a bit. So to wrap it all up, biggest leap next year, Ricky Pearsall, not even close. Biggest possible step back because the man was a machine last year, Eddie Pinheiro. He might actually be human, folks, and miss a couple of more field goals this year. What do you think? Who do you think makes the biggest leap in 2026? Is it Slick Ricky P? Is it Ricky Pearsall? Do you have Upton Stout, Dominick Puni? Do you have somebody else? And who do you think could possibly take a step back? Let me know how you feel in the comments. Remember, faithful, we appreciate you watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Share the channel with another faithful if you happen to be out. Show them the channel. It really helps us out. As always, take care, be blessed, and go Niners.